So like when it comes to taxes, like there's some confusion about this in the gig economy
Mhm.
about the two methods that you can use as far as deductions, the standard mileage deduction or the actual expense method. Like what advice would you give to gig workers on how to choose which one would be more practical for them to maximize their tax savings or deductions?
Most times, the standard mileage is going to give you the most bang for your buck, especially when you don't keep good records. So, like you said, you can do the standard or you can do the actual. Actual, you should keep good records to protect yourself from the chance of being audited by the IRS because they can blow it
Mhm.
off. Because a lot of people like to just dream up numbers, and I get it, it's cool. But if you can't document those numbers, and God forbid the IRS calls your number and they say, "Well, how many oil changes did you get?" And you say, "I got 10 oil changes." All right, where are the receipts? Where are the invoices? Because you wrote off that you spent $400 on oil changes at $40 a pop. I mean, that's not unreasonable, but where's the documentation? So you got to have documentation in order to back it up. The other thing I would say about standard mileage, so again, standard mileage probably is going to be your best way to go. But when you use the app only tracks the time you are, what is it, the time you actually want to ride. It
Mhm.
doesn't track the whole time you are out driving, working, or waiting. So I would also recommend you not use whatever statement you get from Lyft and Uber. I would say keep your own mileage, keep your own mileage log, because 9 times out of 10, if you keep your own mileage log, it could be the difference of you saving thousands and thousands of dollars on your taxes because you will have it more accurate and more close to what you actually did while you were out driving.
Mhm. Nice. Yeah, and there's a lot of confusion about that, and that's the way you did it is perfect. Because and for those of y'all that are wondering, like, well, how would I keep good records? There's plenty of apps out there
Yep.
that will help you do it. Like one I use is a Stride, and they literally have a place to where you can take a picture of your receipts, and then put the amount and put whatever it's under, so rideshare or delivery, and that's just one app. There are plenty of you just gotta search for them. But if you're lazy, like feel free to look up that Stride because
Yeah, I never heard of Stripe before. I usually recommend either Mileage IQ or QuickBooks Self-Employed, but I have to look up Stride. I definitely have to look up Stride.
yeah, like one thing about Stride is you can track your mileage with it. So as soon as you start your day with Uber or Lyft or whatever, you just hit the plus button on the app and it starts tracking the mileage. And that's so
Mm.
important because in ride sharing delivery terms, there's three periods. It's period one, period two, period three. Period one is when you're looking for a trip or delivery. Period two is when you've accepted a trip and you're heading towards the drop, towards the person or towards the restaurant. And
Mhm.
period three is when you're dropping off the food or the passenger. Apps only keep track of period two and three. Period one, if you're not tracking your mileage, you're leaving a lot of, you're giving the IRS a bigger check than you need to. I'll put it that way.
That's correct.
I was actually going to segue into this next question that was asked by a viewer. He is actually on a bike, and with him being on a bike, he was asking what are some good deductions that he can utilize because a lot of people do these apps on a car in a car, and there's some things you can do in a bike too. In fact, I have a friend that's making over $20 an hour doing Doordash on a bike, which is pretty crazy. I'll leave that link to his video linked in the description. But what advice would you give to someone who's on a bike?
So are we talking about just a plain bicycle or a motorbike, like a motorcycle or moped?
Well, let's say bicycle because he did say bicycle.
Okay. Well, kudos to him because I'm pretty sure he's in good shape. I probably need to get like him. But you have the same options for the same expenses, but obviously you can't write off gas. It's a good question though. I don't know how mileage will be handled. I have to look.
Like I'm assuming he would have to probably use the actual expense method because like mileage probably
Right.
yeah, like in that situation, it probably would be more practical to look at the actual expense because I'm not sure if mileage could play a factor in that. I don't know. That's just a good question.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. I never even thought about that. But I'm looking it up right now real quick. Um,
Because that's a damn good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. I've never had it before. Well, listen, that's why you got to stay humble and be a lifelong student, because you can learn something anywhere, anytime. Man, so man.
While he's looking that up, I will say that unless a family member gave it to you, I'm assuming you probably paid money for that bike. By default, it's probably tax deductible.
Right. So definitely the cost of the bike will be tax deductible. Any maintenance on the bike will be tax deductible, or tax write-off. I'm trying to think.
If you use a phone mount and you mount it on the bike, that'd be tax deductible.
The phone mount or the phone?
No, the phone mount. Like what's keeping your phone steady while you're pedaling.
That would absolutely be tax deductible. Any of your gear that you're using to deliver will be tax deductible.